Hi, this is LauraJthe.Treetalker, and I'm going to be doing a card reading for the outlook for the week. Okay, I'm going to now pick the 5 cards for the basic stretch and then clarifier cards. So we're random here. We're picking Cocoa, I don't know how to pronounce it, Hibiscus Reversed, and it is number 1. I'm using this, I'm doing a little different than like doing the basis card. And then we'll do Lemon Tree Reversed. Banana Stimulating. Juniper Reversed. Sorry, these are hard to see. There's so much light coming in from the windows, it makes it dark. And this is Cassia. These are all in reverse, so I'm not bothering to read the meanings. Okay, let's push this over here. This will be the basis past, immediate past, current, immediate future, and outcome. And for clarifiers on these 2 cards, which are like the future element, we are getting Saguaro and Japan Maple. Everything's coming in reverse. I don't like that. Okay. And Mamaku. I haven't done this one before. Okay. And then we'll do another clarifiers just in case I need them, so I don't have to go through this again. Okay. Ash. Jawari and Shea Nut. Go. As you can see, most of these cards are reversals. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything negative. Remember, this is not the tarot. Not the tarot. The tarot is mostly numerology and a group of symbols. Okay, so, all right. Now, these things in reverse are the Cocoa Hibiscus is the elite. Those in power decide. Well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Okay. Lemon Tree in reverse is apathy and indifference. That's the immediate past. Banana, upright, arousing interest or enthusiasm. That's current situation. And Juniper reversed is the immediate future. Waste of natural resources. And Cassia reversed is things that create physical discomfort. Now I know this is supposed to, that I advertise this is supposed to be some kind of worldwide thing, but it feels very much like that is, so quite simply, the See, this in people power in reverse is the elite, the rich and powerful, and boy, are we getting a load of them these days. Becoming, it's not like these people haven't been around forever anyway. It's just we in this country and other people that are democracies of some kind have had a break from it, but they have used every loophole they can find and every every way they could to get around things, quote unquote, legally, and create the system that has always happened all over the world, where people gain all the rich and all richness and all the property and everything else, and then they just basically stomp on everybody else. So you've got, in the past, you've got the elite, the ones in power are making the decisions. Well, we could mention names, but we don't need to. And it's not just here. It's, China, Russia, India, all kinds of places where the people have zip to say about anything, and it's becoming like that here. And as a matter of fact, it looks like it's that way here now, because anybody who could do something about it won't, for whatever their reasons are. So that's this guy. Now then, lemon tray reversed, which is lemon tray reversed. See, and normally it would mean eagerness, and in this it means apathy and indifference. Well, it seems to me that the populace of any group has been, to allow this to happen is because of people get apathetic, they get indifferent, they think, oh, well, my life is okay, who cares? Until it comes for them, you see. And that's been in the immediate past. So the banana stimulating card, which is, sorry, this is dark. Okay, banana stimulating means, and that's in the current situation, that means arousing interest or enthusiasm. Then I would say that means that the populace of everywhere is beginning to do, well, I don't know about everywhere, but at least in places that I hear about, are starting to say, wait a minute, what the hell's going on? I mean, you can see by this latest No King's March, where the estimated number is 7 million. It could have been a lot more. And people all over the world marched in sympathy. So this is not something that just applies to the United States. This is something that's going on everywhere. People are saying, look at these people. There's like this tiny, tiny percentage of people who are getting all the money and all the power, and they're just saying stuff everybody else and taking anything that has taken decades to get to the people, just taking it away because they can get away with it and nobody stops them. I will say that there is a party here, the Republican Party, who basically sits on their hands for whatever reason and does nothing. Anyway, so you've got Juniper in reverse is the immediate future. Immediate future. And it means waste of natural resources. Now, natural resources I always think of as environmental things. I mean, like water and land and whatever. But people are also natural resources and everything else. And I would say that the environment is taking a huge hit. I mean, last week I got one of these things in my inbox saying that our president had opened the Alaskan Wildlife Refuge to drilling and road building and stuff. So, this is the kind of thing that drives me nuts. But, okay, so that's the immediate future. And I would say for the immediate future, that's how it's going to be. I mean, until something changes or something happens, that's what's going to be happening. We're going to we're going to be having a situation where all kinds of things are going to be damaged, possibly beyond return, and I don't know, it freaks me out. At any rate, so the next one is Cassia. This is like the outcome week type thing. This is not a the long-term outcome. And it's Cassia reversed. Things that create physical discomfort. Well, I would say, like in the, it is very soon that people are going to be noticing. Up till now, there's a lot of people who just don't really notice. I mean, they're getting on with their lives, but they don't watch the news, or maybe they watch a news channel that doesn't give them the information. And so they're like saying, oh, well, what are you talking about? But this indicates to me that it is literally within this week that people will start to notice that all this stuff is going to affect them. And that's when people start rising up. Okay, clarifying cards, we've got Saguaro reversed, which is it is non-residents, outsiders, aliens. Okay, I'm sure some people will think, oh, but the aliens are watching us. I'm not one of those people. I mean, I believe that there are life forms all over all over the universe, because it's a big place, and how can there not be? But as to whether or not they're hanging around planet Earth deciding, you know, what we're doing and what we ought to do and how they're going to help us or hurt us or whatever, I'm like, if they've been there so long and people have been looking for these things for thousands of years, then how come they haven't done anything so far or whatever? Anyway, so to me, this means non-residents. Okay, I don't know. So let's do the other two and then see what it means. Okay, so Japan maple perpetuity, or not perpetuity, unperpetuity, which means temporarity. Japan maple transitory fleeting. Okay, so it would mean that, see, this situation, this bit here, is fleeting. And it's from outsiders. And Mamaku, which is one of those, I don't know if it's Hawaiian or New Zealand or whatever. At any rate, it's a type of fern palm. And it is keeping out, omission, expulsion. It is... Okay, so, right. So let's look at these two again. We got juniper, waste of natural resources, and things that create physical discomfort. And then you've got outsiders, fleeting, and keeping out, excluding. Okay, so what that says is that the people who are outside of the see, this is populace, and outside of the populace would mean they're, again, kind of like the elite, but not... I mean, I would not necessarily equate it. I would say that it is people who are sort of out there. They're kind of outside the system. They're outside the regular run of life. They exist outside of things like that, which usually indicates rich and whatever. And they are excluding everybody else, but the situation is fleeting. And as we know from history, all this stuff has happened before. I mean, since the beginning of human civilization, there's always been the rich and powerful take over, and then there's a revolution of some kind, and they get killed off, and then everybody's like, yeah, whoopee, we're equal, and then somebody else rises to the top. It goes on and on. It's happened in this country at least twice that I know of. Anyway, so there's that. And then we've got a further thing, which I would say is probably to do with moving into, how long will this kind of thing last? I mean, this, like I say, this reading is mostly a weekish, you know, and I'm changing. Never mind. So anyway, so these three. So you've got Ash in reverse, which is unfaithful. Okay, it's unfaithful, wayward, and undependable. You've got Jawari, light as a feather. Now that's a weirdie. HJKL. Okay. It means lightweight. Okay, interesting. Means not all that. Kind of insubstantial. Insubstantial, no burden. And then you've got Shea Nut in reverse. And that one, Shea Nut in reverse is contradiction. Find unacceptable. Okay. All right. Well, you could read it different ways. I think it means that people like this can never do it on their own. This is just what I'm getting about it. And so the people who have been aligning themselves with they're trying to do in their job, I would say, just now, this is off the top of my head, and I don't necessarily see this in these cards. I'm just saying the people who've affiliated themselves with the rich and powerful are saying, I don't know about this, and maybe I'm not going to get what I thought I was getting, or maybe it's not so great. And they are unburdening themselves and probably feeling better because of it and disagreeing. So they are rejecting, they're finding the situation unacceptable. So I think if I took this overall reading as a whole, I would say that what we're going to be looking for by the end of this week are people starting to reject the power thing that they aligned with, thinking that it was going to be good for them and everybody else and was a better system or whatever it was. But they're going to be sort of, if you like, biting the hand that feeds them. And they're saying, no, I don't want this anymore. And people may come out with information. People may be going to the press. People may, let's say Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is saying, my constituency, as a matter of fact, my own child, is going to be affected by these healthcare things. And so you've got probably people who will buck the system a bit. And my estimation of why, like, say, the Senate and the Republican Party doesn't do anything is because, some of them want it this way, but I think a lot more of them are afraid and they don't have enough money to buy security, and they're getting death threats and phone calls and all this kind of stuff. But that's what I'm seeing about this whole rich and powerful thing has got a short lifespan because people are going to start turning around and saying, we ain't doing this. In the meantime, you've got this. This is actually the center card of the reading. This one here is current situation. And this is people rising up. This is the marching for no kings. This is all over the world saying, enough of this. You are ruining everything. You are destroying the environment. They're hurting people. And it's time to stop. And so people who have been, these guys, short lifespan, this thing is, the populace, including people who have supported it, are going to say, not anymore. Anyway, so that is what I would say this means. We will raise you. Okay. So I think that sounds good. All right, so this is LauraJthe.Treetalker, and I will end this reading now, and I'm going to try to get it out today. I've decided that I'm going to do this weekling rather than posting it on Sunday for Monday. I'm going to post on Saturday for Sunday, so Sunday to Sunday, Sunday to Saturday, because I understand from YouTube that Monday is the absolute worst day. So I'm going to start loading it today. Anyway, so that's that one, and I'm now going to do a 3-card let's think of some positive things reading. So I will take pictures of this and I will get back to whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching if you have, and I will see you again next week.